The heart of Heartland has always been its family, the bonds that keep them together through every storm and every triumph. But as season 19 unfolds, that very foundation seems to be cracking. The final season looms large, and with it comes an unsettling question: who will be leaving Heartland for good? As the story progresses, whispers of departures and untold goodbyes begin to stir. Some of these exits are expected, but others will leave you questioning everything. Are the beloved characters we've watched for years on the brink of their final curtain call? Season 19 will answer those questions, but the truth might just leave you breathless. Get ready for a roller coaster of emotions, shocking reveals, and a farewell that no one saw coming. The opening moments of Heartland Season 19 will likely be a breath of fresh air for fans. After years of intense emotional upheaval, the Bartlett-Fleming family is finding moments of peace. Amy and Ty have fought hard to rebuild their lives and family after Ty's return, and they seem to finally be finding their rhythm again. Their daughter, Lindy, is growing up quickly, and the warmth of their home on the ranch feels like a refuge from the world outside. The tension from past seasons, the grief, the struggle, and the loss appears to be easing, and for a while, it seems like Heartland has reclaimed its heartbeat. But beneath the surface, there are whispers. The shadows of impending goodbyes loom over the family, and it's clear that the calm won't last forever. As the final season begins, the threat of change is palpable, even if it's not yet fully visible. The viewer can feel the shift in the air, as if the winds of fate are blowing in new directions. Fans have grown accustomed to Heartland's bittersweet moments, but this time, it's different. The future feels uncertain, and the past seems to be catching up in ways that no one can control. Though many fans are hoping for a clean, happy ending for all of their favorite characters, the nature of this final season suggests that things will not be so simple. There are far too many unresolved issues in the hearts of the characters, and the pull of the past will be felt by each one of them. With the looming question of which cast members will be leaving, it becomes clear that some storylines will come to an emotional end, and some characters will be forced to say goodbye, perhaps forever. The first signs of this are small, almost imperceptible. A few moments of hesitation in the characters' faces, unspoken words that linger in the air, and scenes where the characters' eyes seem to be searching for something they can't find. Ty's past struggles, Jack's growing sense of age and loss, and Lou's ongoing battle to maintain her family's legacy on the ranch are all simmering beneath the surface. These long-running themes create an undercurrent of tension that will eventually erupt in the most unexpected ways. Fans have been watching Heartland for nearly 2 decades, and during that time, the bonds between the cast and the audience have deepened into something more than just a show. It's a community, it's a family, and when the time comes for some of these beloved characters to leave, it will feel like a personal loss for everyone involved. At the same time, the promise of closure is what keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. If these characters are leaving, they will do so in a way that feels earned, an emotional culmination of everything that's come before. Whether it's a moment of forgiveness, a farewell, or an unexpected twist, Heartland fans will be guaranteed a closure they've been craving. But, as with all great series, the hardest goodbyes are often the ones that come with the most profound lessons. For now, though, the calm prevails. But as season 19 progresses, viewers will start to sense that something big is about to happen. The time to say goodbye is drawing near. And just when it seems like everything is coming together, a storm is on the horizon. Who will be left standing at the end? That is the question that will haunt the entire final season. As Heartland Season 19 continues, the tension that began to build in the first few episodes becomes impossible to ignore. It starts subtly, small cracks in the otherwise peaceful lives of the Bartlett-Fleming family. The relationships that seem to have healed begin to show signs of strain, and the characters find themselves at crossroads they never anticipated. Amy and Ty's bond, which was once a symbol of love and perseverance, begins to face an unfamiliar challenge. Ty, despite his return and the hope it brought, still carries the weight of his traumatic past. His memories, once shattered, remain fragmented, and he's unsure of how to fit back into the life he left behind. For Amy, seeing him struggle is a harsh reminder of the years they spent apart, and though she wants to help, she can't shake the feeling that something is off. The undercurrent of uncertainty is most palpable in Amy's growing internal conflict. Her devotion to Ty and their family has always been her anchor, But this new version of him feels distant in ways she can't explain. The moments of joy they share with Lindy are bittersweet, as Amy wonders whether they are truly past the darkest chapter of their lives, or if they're merely standing on the edge of a new, equally devastating one. Ty's hesitations and unexplained absences begin to raise doubts for Amy, and their future together becomes a source of anxiety for her. Meanwhile, the family dynamics on the ranch are shifting as well. Jack, ever the steady presence, begins to show signs of aging and vulnerability. He feels the weight of the years, not just on his body, but on his legacy. He's watched his children and grandchildren go through heartache, growth, and change. And now, with the ranch possibly facing its own future uncertainties, Jack starts to ask himself how much longer he can hold everything together. His constant worry for Amy and the rest of the family is compounded by the creeping sense that Heartland is changing, and with change comes the reality of loss. Lou, too, finds herself at a crossroads. She has spent so many years fighting for her family's future, and the weight of that responsibility has taken a toll. But as the final season unfolds, Lou is confronted by the possibility that she's been so focused on keeping the ranch running that she's neglected to nurture her own personal life. She feels torn between her duties to the family and the growing need to prioritize herself. Will she make the decision to step away from the ranch? Or will she remain steadfast, ensuring Heartland's legacy is preserved no matter the cost? As each character faces their own internal struggles, the looming question remains: who will be the one to leave? It becomes clear that Heartland is setting up a monumental farewell, one that will affect more than just the core family members. The ranch itself seems to hold memories and echoes of those who came before, and it will soon be time for some of these characters to say goodbye to their pasts. For the audience, it becomes an agonizing guessing game. Will it be Ty, Jack, Lou, or perhaps someone else entirely? The deeper into season 19 we go, the more evident it becomes that change is inevitable. The family cannot stay the same forever, and with each passing episode, the reality of that becomes increasingly hard to ignore. The stakes are higher than ever, and the departure of a beloved character, someone fans have watched grow and evolve for years, seems not just probable, but necessary for the story to reach its emotional climax. The tension is thick, but the sense of inevitability is even thicker. The quiet moments between the characters feel like a countdown, as if each conversation, each shared glance, is one step closer to the inevitable goodbyes that will shake the foundation of Heartland forever. These moments, while seemingly mundane, are steeped in significance. They mark the beginning of the end for some, and the final chapters of a saga that has touched the hearts of millions. In a show where family is everything, the pain of letting go will feel all too real for fans who have followed these characters through thick and thin. But what's even more painful is the idea that some of the departures may not come with closure at all. Will there be unresolved questions, missed opportunities for reconciliation? Only time will tell, but the emotional stakes are rising, and soon, the moment of reckoning will arrive. Who will walk away from Heartland? The answer is lurking just beneath the surface, and it's only a matter of time before it comes crashing through. As the tension continues to build in Heartland Season 19, the plot twists grow more intense, and the revelations come thick and fast. The calm facade of family life begins to unravel, and with each passing episode, secrets are unearthed, uncovering layers of personal trauma, unresolved conflicts, and hidden truths that have long been buried beneath the surface. The quiet moments of reflection transform into moments of confrontation, and the specter of departure becomes impossible to ignore. One of the most shocking developments comes with Ty's past. While the family has been able to move forward, and many thought his return marked the end of their struggles, Ty's journey is far from over. His trauma, which was hinted at in earlier seasons, is fully explored, revealing startling details that no one saw coming. Ty's silence, once perceived as a result of his time away, is now understood as a coping mechanism, one that's kept him from fully confronting the depths of his pain. In Season 19, Ty's character faces the consequences of the violent incident that led to his emotional and physical scars. It is revealed that he has been suffering from a form of post-traumatic stress, struggling with flashbacks and bouts of memory loss. The journey to healing has been a long and difficult one, and it becomes clear that his decision to stay away was not merely a result of fear for his own safety, but out of fear for his family. Ty believed that, until he was fully recovered, he would be a danger to those he loved. His return, though filled with hope, is laced with the painful realization that healing isn't linear, and the scars of the past may never fully fade. This revelation throws the entire family into disarray. Amy, who had hoped for a fresh start with her husband, is devastated by the truth. The realization that Ty's pain goes far deeper than anyone imagined opens up old wounds for her. The guilt she feels for not seeing the signs of his suffering is overwhelming, and she is faced with the difficult decision of how to support Ty without losing herself in the process. Amy's journey in season 19 is not just about reconciling with Ty's past, but also about coming to terms with her own feelings of grief and helplessness. The trauma they both carry is now front and center, and the question remains, can their bond survive the weight of it? But Ty's struggle isn't the only secret to surface in Heartland season 19. Lou, ever the protector and leader of the family, finds herself confronting a secret of her own. As the stress of managing the ranch, family life, and her personal ambitions continues to mount, Lou's own emotional struggles take center stage. Her once unwavering strength begins to crack, revealing doubts about her role within the family. Lou has always been the glue that held the family together, but now, with the ranch's future hanging in the balance, she questions whether she's been so focused on the bigger picture that she's lost sight of herself. It's during these moments of vulnerability that Lou begins to consider stepping away from the ranch, an idea that shakes her to the core. The thought of leaving Heartland, a place that has been her home for so long, is almost unthinkable. But as the weight of her responsibilities grows, she wonders if it's time to carve out her own path. She spent so much time trying to protect and provide for others, but what about her own happiness and future? The idea of leaving brings with it a new set of questions. Can she truly walk away from her family? Or is this just another form of self-preservation? Meanwhile, Jack, who has always been the patriarch of the family, is starting to come to terms with his own aging. Though he's fought against the passage of time, there's a growing sense that his days of leading the family are numbered. Jack's emotional journey in season 19 focuses on letting go of the ranch, of his role as the leader, and of the idea that he can be the one to hold everything together. In an emotional sequence, Jack is forced to confront his mortality and the realization that the time has come for him to pass the torch to the next generation. The question of who will step up to take over his legacy weighs heavily on him, and for the first time, Jack must face the fear of leaving Heartland in the hands of others. But these personal struggles and revelations are only the beginning. As season 19 progresses, the characters begin to grapple with an even greater question. What happens when they no longer have each other to lean on? As more characters are faced with the possibility of leaving, the show pushes the limits of its emotional storytelling. Who will step away from Heartland and who will remain behind? The answers will be shocking, and they'll have lasting consequences for the family that fans have followed for so long. With the clock ticking down to the final moments of the series, the stage is set for gut-wrenching goodbyes, and Heartland fans are left on the edge of their seats, holding their breath, waiting for the inevitable departures. The secrets that have been buried for years are no longer able to stay hidden, and the weight of the past will come crashing down on everyone. The emotional toll will be heavy, and not everyone will make it out of Heartland unscathed. As the dust settles on the emotional revelations of season 19, the stakes are higher than ever. The tension that has been building throughout the season reaches a fever pitch as the departures that fans have feared, and some secretly hoped for, become a painful reality. Heartland has always been a show about family, growth, and resilience, but now it's also about learning to live without those who have been a constant presence for so long. The moment has come for the final goodbyes. And these farewells aren't just plot twists, they're the emotional heart of the season. Ty, after all the trauma he's faced, must now confront the idea that perhaps the only way forward for his family is for him to step back, despite his return bringing hope to the family. His unresolved inner turmoil and his struggles with PTSD weigh on him more heavily than he can bear. His inability to truly find peace within himself becomes his greatest burden, and he begins to question if staying with Amy and Lindy is truly the best thing for them. Ty's journey has been about healing, but now he faces the heartbreaking realization that his healing may not look the way he envisioned it. It's in a quiet moment with Amy, where the weight of their shared history and the love they still have for each other is palpable, that Ty makes his decision. The sense of closure that fans were hoping for becomes a painful, bittersweet truth. Ty decides that he must leave for the sake of his own mental health and for Amy's and Lindy's future. The decision doesn't come easily. His heart aches with the thought of leaving them behind, but Ty knows it's the right one. This departure, unlike many others in Heartland, is not driven by circumstances outside of Ty's control. It's a decision made by a man who has fought long and hard, only to realize that sometimes the bravest thing is to walk away. For Amy, this goodbye is shattering. She has spent so much of her life alongside Ty, their love story intertwined with the ranch and their family. To lose him again feels like a cruel twist of fate, yet she understands in her heart that Ty's departure is necessary. Her journey in season 19 has been one of growth, learning how to balance love, grief, and personal strength. While she will always cherish the time they spent together, she must now find a way to continue on without him. This parting, although painful, marks a turning point in Amy's character arc. She's no longer defined by her past grief, but by her ability to move forward, to heal, and to love again, whether or not Ty is there to share it with her. But Ty's departure is not the only goodbye that fans will have to come to terms with. Lou, too, faces an inevitable change. As the weight of her responsibilities at Heartland takes its toll, Lou is confronted with the idea that she may need to step away, not just from the ranch, but from the life she has known. Her decision is complicated, one she has wrestled with for a long time. Lou has been the backbone of the family for years, and the thought of leaving Heartland, the place where so many memories were made, feels like an insurmountable loss. But Lou is also beginning to understand that her own happiness cannot be sacrificed for the sake of others forever. The conflict within Lou is heart-wrenching. On one hand, there's the desire to stay and continue her role in the family, to keep the ranch alive and thriving. But on the other hand, there's the realization that she has neglected herself, her dreams, and her well-being for too long. The final episodes of season 19 show Lou facing the truth that sometimes, in order to move forward, you have to let go of the things that once defined you. Lou's departure from the ranch may not be permanent, but it marks a pivotal moment in her life, one that will forever change the dynamics of the family. And then there's Jack. The patriarch of Heartland, the man who has weathered every storm, is finally forced to acknowledge that the time has come for him to let go. His age, his failing health, and the realization that his role as the guiding force of the family has come to an end are a heavy burden. For Jack, this isn't just about leaving the ranch. It's about leaving behind the legacy he spent a lifetime building. The moment he faces this truth is gut-wrenching, and his farewell to the family will be the most emotionally charged moment of the entire series. Jack's strength has always been the anchor that kept the family together. But now, it's time for the next generation to take that role. The emotional toll on Jack as he prepares to step aside and let others lead Heartland is the heart of the final season. It's a farewell to the past, but also a hopeful nod to the future. As the family faces these heartbreaking departures, it becomes clear that Heartland is not just about the goodbyes, but the life that comes after them. These final moments remind the characters and the audience that endings are not just about loss. They are about the potential for new beginnings. While the departures will leave a permanent mark on the family, the love, strength, and resilience that have defined Heartland for so long will continue to shape their journey, even in the face of goodbye. But the question still lingers: who else will leave? As the final season marches on, the emotional stakes are higher than ever, and the story is far from over. Each goodbye leaves a void, but also a glimmer of hope for what's to come next. As Heartland approaches its final moments, the question that lingers in the air is, what happens next for the family and the ranch? The departures that have left fans reeling are not just about endings. They are paving the way for a new chapter, one that will look drastically different from the Heartland we've known for so long. In this final season, the story is about more than just farewells. It's about resilience, transformation, and the deep connections that hold the family together, even when everything seems to be falling apart. After Ty's departure, Amy is left to carry on without the man who was once her anchor. While the pain of his absence will never fully disappear, Amy's growth throughout the season shows that she is no longer the woman who was defined solely by her grief. She's found strength in her ability to keep moving forward, even when her heart is broken. But what does the future hold for her? Heartland has always been about the healing process, and Amy's story isn't finished yet. In the absence of Ty, Amy begins to realize that her true calling is to help others find their way through their own pain. She channels the love she has for Ty into her work with horses and the ranch, honoring the legacy they built together while forging a path of her own. Throughout the season, Amy comes to understand that the healing process is not a straight line. It's something that changes, shifts, and evolves. While she'll always carry the love for her family and the memories of Ty, she begins to open her heart to the possibility of a future beyond the pain. The season's final episodes hint at a renewed sense of hope, with Amy finding peace in her own journey and the strength to let go of the past. The bond she shares with Lindy, their daughter, becomes her new source of purpose. Their relationship is a testament to the enduring power of love, even after the most profound losses. Meanwhile, Lou's decision to step away from the ranch leaves the door open for new leadership to emerge. Lou has always been a fierce protector of the family, but as the final season unfolds, she begins to recognize that her role is evolving. No longer the emotional anchor she once was, Lou's story in the closing chapters of Heartland is one of personal rediscovery. The idea of leaving the ranch allows her to reclaim her own identity, a fresh start that's entirely her own. Lou's journey comes full circle as she finally acknowledges that she's not just the person others rely on, she's someone who deserves the freedom to live her own life. Whether she stays or leaves permanently, Lou's story is about personal empowerment, finding balance, and embracing change.